Lovely humans of Earth, hello and welcome. I got Philomena Cunk on charity. I only saw one episode of Philomena. It was Cunk on Britain, right? And oh my god, I love the character. It's one of those characters, one of those things I've been wanting to watch for a very long time, and I just started. And she's so fun. So I found this. It's for comic relief, which is usually nah, but it's Cunk, so I totally wanted to watch it. See what's up. Let's go. She's so good at it, too.
Our world is divided in half. Into the haves, the have-nots, and the don't-knows.
Wait, what?
Into the haves, the have-nots, and the don't-knows.
Oh.
The haves, like the Prince of Charles and Sting, are wealthy, but the have-nots, like the starving and whatever the opposite of Sting is, need our help. And we can help, with the help of an invention known as charity. In one of the less boring bits in the Bible, Jesus tells the story of the Good Samaritan who selflessly helped a stranger in need when others had walked on by, probably while pretending to look at their phones, or whatever the equivalent of phones was in Bible times.
Look at their pebbles.
If you ignore all these bastards, the most popular face of modern compassion is charity pin-up Mother Teresa, a 20th century nun who devoted her life to helping those in need. Mother Teresa said, "Give, but give until it hurts," which is possibly the sexiest thing a nun's ever said, apart from in rude films.
Her delivery is so
But even
good.
Mother T's achievements pale into insignification compared to those of someone even more saintly, Bobbert Geldof.
Who?
It was 1985 when St. Bobbert Geldof changed the giving game forever by organising the biggest charity concert of all time, Live Aid. One of the reasons Live Aid was successful
Isn't it Live Aid? She's got me doubting now.
with
Okay,
Live Aid.
sure. Never
One
mind.
of the reasons Live Aid was successful was that Live Aid was easy to say. Before then, almost all charities had hard to pronounce names. They were called things like Runib, Ruspika, Ruspaba, and Nuspakaka. Luckily, it wasn't long until a charity came along with a name that was very easy to say. Comic Relief. And it was a huge success from the very beginning.
It's time for Comic Relief.
1988 saw the first ever Red Nose Day, an event in which celebrities appeared on TV with huge smiles and red noses, just like they did in the Groucho Club toilets. But why do celebrities give up the time and ask nothing in return in a way that people who actually need to be paid could never do? What's the point of charity? To find out, I sat down with Comic Relief co-founder and rom-com mogul Richard Curtins. Okay. First of all, do I call you Richard or do you prefer Dick?
Yeah, no, Richard's good.
Whoa,
If we
that's
give-
a voice.
Do you prefer Dick?
Jeez. That is like... This is the white equivalent of Barry White, man.
No, Richard.
First of all,
Jeez.
do I call you Richard or do you prefer Dick?
Yeah, no, Richard's
James
good.
Earl Jones. Oh my
If
god.
we give starving people a load of money, how do we know they're not just going to go out and blow it all on food?
If you're dealing with something like
What?
famine, you're always dealing through an intermediary who will be making sure the right food reaches the right people.
Do you have to be careful about people that might have, like, peanut allergies? Because some people haven't tried nuts before, have they?
That's a very interesting issue, whether or not
It
peanut
is.
allergies are a sort of first world problem. Don't know, what an interesting thought.
You know what I heard? You know what I heard several times that there's been research done? I'm saying I've heard this. I'm not saying this is fact, okay? Don't get it twisted. But I've heard several times, I've read several times, that specifically peanut allergies are one of the allergies that develops in people when they don't experience peanuts as a child. Again, could be wrong, but apparently it is believed or said or studied or whatever word you want to use that if you introduce children to peanuts very, very young, then they will not develop an allergy to it. And allergies are just lack of peanut tasting. Specifically to peanuts. I've heard that specifically of peanuts. Allergies are a weird thing. Very odd. I've never heard that about other things. You can develop allergies at any point. Like, I spent 25 years of my life being able to eat kiwis, and then bam, one day, nope. I almost died. No, I didn't. That's an exaggeration. But everything was itchy, and it was awful. Then I used to drink green tea all my life. Say 24 years of my life. And then, bam, one day, nope, just hives all over the place. And that one I tested out a bunch of times because I really like green tea. Yep, nope, hives every time now. So, allergies are weird. But that peanut thing, I always found interesting. I know everybody's going to get into the comments and say, ha, 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 you fool. Like I said, that's just something I heard. I don't know.
Don't know, what an interesting thought.
Thank you.
I love her in this. It's
Which
so
is
good.
better, chugging or writing rom-coms?
Is chugging asking for money on the...
Charity mugging, yeah.
I think the outcome, the result of chugging is better because it actually helps, people whose lives are hard, whereas I don't know if rom-coms do that.
I think you're being very modest. I think they make people realise that there's lots of posh people that are quite funny. Have you thought about just selling celebrities, for their organs? Because I'm sure someone would pay a fortune for, like, John Bishop's kidneys.
Probably.
No, we haven't thought of that. And
Good.
I think that the comedians do quite a lot for us sometimes that they don't want to do. And I suspect the sale of bodily parts would be slightly more than they or their representatives would.
Be a talking point, though, wouldn't it, if you had John Bishop's kidneys?
It would be a slightly morbid talking point if John was no longer alive. I killed John Bishop.
Did you?
No, I'm just saying I killed John Bishop would be a odd talking point.
What's the most disgusting thing you've heard someone do with a red nose? Because my mate Paul, he did this party trick that he always does with a red nose.
Oh.
And he put it sort of on his intimate skin. And it sort of tore it and it went septic. Actually, I think that might mean he qualifies for some sort of charity money.
That is the first and most disgusting thing I've heard done with a red nose.
It's awful, isn't it, to think what people might be doing with them right now. Comic relief reminds us that we can't leave charity up to knobs like Sting. It's up to all of us to be knobs together. People like you and me, putting our hands in our pockets and hoping there's money in there. And if not, maybe donating the actual pocket. Or your whole trousers.
That would be the option for me because I do not have
Next time on
pockets.
Moments of Wonder, I'll be asking, how much are new trousers?
I love her. She does it so well, and the character's written so good. Just brilliant stuff. I think that's I haven't seen many comic relief things or Red Nose Day thingies, or I've seen just a few here and there, and mainly every time I watch one, it basically sucks. Even though they're good characters or good actors or good whatever, like the thing sucks, the skit or whatever, and people are like, nah, just Red Nose, just avoid it because it sucks. But this was good. She's awesome, and I can't wait to watch more. There's a lot. There's Kunk on Britain. There's Kunk on Earth. And there's like a bunch of things that were done with the character. So I'm invested. I love it. I love her. And there you go. That was whatever that was. So you're welcome. And consider donating your trousers today. I don't know when Red Nose Day is. I don't know nothing about this kind of stuff. I think it's very particular to you guys. But just consider it. I'm not asking you to do it. Just consider it.